Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week of asynchronous art videos. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen with you all. So last week, we learned about translucent colors, right? So this week we're going to continue with our objective. And so our learning objective is that we are learning how to use elements of art to draw a composition inspired by the artist Claude Monet and the recent George Floyd case. And we will reach our success criteria when we can use value to create water lilies inspired by Claude Monet and the recent George Floyd verdict. So this is what we did last week. We created our marching caterpillar, right? From Eric Carle's Hungry, Hungry, Hungry Caterpillar. And then this is George Floyd from last week. So our marching caterpillar represented peace. So we're going to continue with that peace theme. And so here's Claude Monet, and he created these landscapes of water lilies, and water lilies represent peace. So he's a French painter, and he was born in 1840 and he passed away in 1929. But he has like 250 paintings of the same kind of water lilies, almost the same, similar water lilies, not the same. So here's one of them. It's called Nympheas Effet du Soir. And it's an oil on canvas, and it was like 30 inches by 40 inches, and he did it in 1897. So effet du soir means evening effect, and that is French for evening effect. And so it looks very peaceful. I mean, look at the colors, blue and light blue are all kinds of peace. So when you look on this side, the left side, it's lighter than the right side. So here's the right side, a little bit of darker blues on this side, and you can see the darker greens on this side as well. So that is what we call value, and we are going to create value in our compositions today. So let's get into it. I'm going to stop sharing with you, and we're going to create our value. So we are going to start by drawing a pointy oval somewhere in the center of our paper. So we're going to start by in the center. We're going to draw a curved line up, right? And then we're going to curve line down. And then we're going to kind of like do a vertical little line going right across there. And on this side, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go pointy up, curve line, and then come right back to that same point, right? And we're going to do it one more time, up, and then come right back to that same point. You guys see that? And so we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to go up to a point and then come down, and then go up again, up to a point, and then come down. And so that's going to be the center of our water lily, right? And so, but where's the bottom? Like flower petals, they bloom, right? So we need big flower petals on the opposite side. It's going to be like a reflection. So I'm going to go down, but it's going to be bigger, a little bit bigger than the first one. I'm going to point that way, and then I'm going to go opposite direction and meet that same point. And so here's another one, point this way and down to there. So that point, here's another one, point that way, and up, curve line up. And so we're going to create the same thing we did on this side, we're going to create on the other side. Now you can pause whenever you feel like you need more time to create these curved petals, these curved lines of the water lily petal. So I'm just going to continue, then go curve line down, and then curve line across, right? And then here's another one, curve line across, and then we'll curve line down. So that is our first lily, water lily, right? And so I'm going to draw another one in the background. So when things are farther away, they're usually up farther on the page. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create another one a little bit smaller, and it's going to be farther away. So it's going to be up to the top corner, up here somewhere. So I'm going to draw another one. Here's another one. here's a curved line, and then curve down again, and then we cross, meet those two right there, right? And we're gonna do the same thing we did for this one, we're going to do for the next one in the top corner. We're gonna go up, pointy line, and come down and meet it right there. Curve line up and out to a point, bring it down to meet it right there. Then we're gonna create another 2 more petals on the other side. Same kind of thing. So we're gonna create a curved line up and out and then meet it right there. And here's another one, point up and then curved line down. And so we're gonna do the same thing with our water lily open petals on the bottom. We're gonna do the same thing up here. So this one's gonna be a lot much more wider, right? And then this one's gonna come like that, curve line down, and then curve line up to meet that point. And then one more going this way. And then here's another one, curve line down, and then across, touching the first petal. I said puddle, oh my goodness. And then another one, curve line down, and then curve line up. And that is our second water lily. So now we can begin to put our water lilies on the water like lily pad, right? So I'm gonna draw a circle. I'm gonna surround my flower with a circle. I'm gonna start above the petal that's going out like this. I'm gonna start right there. I'm gonna create that kind of water lily pad right there. So I'm going to draw another one like right down here in the corner, and it's going to go off the page a bit, but that is perfectly fine if your water lily goes off the page, okay? Everything does not have to be centered in the page, right? So I'm going to draw a horizontal line, right? And then a diagonal line to meet that same horizontal line, just like that. So it's like a pointy triangle. Then I'm going to curve up and almost to the edge of the page, right? And then here's my next one. I'm going to curve down, right? And that is our second lily pad. Okay, I'm going to draw another one for this lily pad that we have here. Same thing as we did with this one. So I'm going to draw another circle right underneath. And I'm going to stop right there because I want to create that same kind of triangle thing. So I'm going to go in vertically and then come right back out and come right around. That's our second water lily pad. And then our third one is going to be up at the top, our lily pad. I'm going to go down like this, and then a horizontal line out, and then come all the way around. This one's going to be like more ovalish because it is in the back. And so we have created our water lily pads. So now I'm going to teach you how to create that value that we saw in the Monet's water lily painting. So first we're going to start with that flower. So I have this violet red crayon. And so I'm just gonna, you can color your water lily flower any color you want to, but in order to create value, we have to start like drawing dark. And then as we get to a certain part, we start pressing less and less on the paper, right? So first we're pressing really, really hard in the center, right? You can press really, really hard to get that color all around, right? And then once we get to the middle, we kind of like go a little bit lighter, so you're not really pressing hard on the crayon. And then once you get to the top, you go a little bit lighter, and then a little bit lighter, right? So that you barely see the color pink, right? My little red violet color, right? So we're gonna do the same thing, start off a little bit darker, press lighter and lighter. Don't press so much on the crayon, all the way to the top petal, and then just a little bit lighter. I'm gonna do the same thing here. A little bit lighter and lighter. Right, and the same thing over here. We're gonna start pressing hard and press a little bit lighter and lighter. And so you begin to see that value. Like it looks like there's light, like the moonlight is coming, is shining down on top of our little flower here, right? And so I'm going to create the value down here. A little bit lighter as we get to the edge. And a little bit lighter. And so start pressing hard once you're in the center, then press a little bit lighter. And press a little bit lighter. Don't press so hard. Press light on the ground. And a little bit lighter, like you're barely touching the paper. Right? And then here's another one. Start a little darker and then go a little lighter. And a little lighter. You're barely touching the ground. So sometimes you have to like go back over what you already colored, which is what I'm doing, and that's okay. If you stop and look at it, it doesn't look like what you want it to look like, you can definitely like color over it. Take your time to create this value, right, inside of our flower. And so remember, value is how light or how dark a color is. So you usually would add white to this color, but we don't need to add white. Like we have crayons and we have paper, and I think that's enough. So we don't really need to add any white color to this pink color. We just need to press lighter on our crayon and we'll establish that lighter color pink, that lighter red violet color. So again, I just love the sound it's making. And sometimes you just need that, just to hear the sound of the materials you're using. Okay, so now we have one water lily. So I'm going to do the lily pad. Let's color the lily pad. Same thing, like we can start dark in the center. And what I did with my lily pad is I took my crayon, I like took a little bit off the edge of my crayon, and then I laid it flat so I can get a certain texture. Sometimes when you're coloring with the crayon, you don't get the effect that you want. So I just started laying it flat, like it's really flat. And I just start coloring really, really hard, like in the center. Sometimes you have to keep going until it gets the darkness that you want it to. And then on the outside, just kind of like, you know, a little bit lighter. And it also makes that texture of the lily pad. Like it is kind of smooth, but this makes it look, you know, a little bit more rough. And it gives you a different texture than what the flower is. So now I can go back and like color if I really wanted, so I could just start coloring. In circles, line those circles, right? And then in the center is going to be really, really dark. It's going to go out and out and out. I'm just creating that texture. To get it just right. And so the way that you hold your pencil and your crayon definitely affects how your painting will look and how your composition will look, like the texture of your composition. So I'm going to leave it up to you to color in the water. I mean, we can color in the water. Like I have this blue, like this really dark blue, like how Monet had. It's really dark. So we can start off really dark on this side. And then go really light as we get to the other side. Yeah, I'm kind of going fast because I want you to see how it looks, right? So here's my darker part, right? All dark over here. And then you get lighter and lighter as you go to this side. And as you get over here, it gets lighter and lighter, like you barely even see it. So this whole side will be like dark when I'm done. This whole side will be dark, and then this side will be light. I'm not going to color anymore because I want you to create. I want you to color, right? I want you to color. So this will be green as well, but I want you to determine where your light, like where the light parts are and where the dark parts are. Where are you going to put your value? So I'm pressing lighter and lighter over here, and then I'm pressing darker and darker over here, right? As I go across this way, I'll get darker. So I want you to finish all of your coloring, right? Make sure you use that value, like this side, the left side will be light and the right side will be darker, and color in everything because every part of your composition is important, right? So we want everything to be colored in, okay? So I'm gonna leave it to you to finish coloring. And when you're done coloring, take a picture of your artwork, right? And post it on Google Classrooms or on Class Dojo. And have a wonderful weekend. You guys did an awesome job today.